Sure. Mm, Okay, already make you co-host, Ivy.
Okay, perfect. Let me just double it.
Okay. Hi everyone. How are you doing? I know this is a holiday, but thank you so much for attending this session. And happy Chinese New Year for everyone who celebrate it. I hope you guys enjoy your time with family and also, your holiday as well. It's a really long weekend. Hope there is not much traffic for the long weekend. Yeah, how's everyone's holiday so far? Great, all good, great. Good to hear. Doing tasks. Yeah, I know there are a lot of tasks, from last week, but you guys pulled through. You're still able to join this session tonight. So yeah, great. How about you? My long weekend, I'm just staying at home. I'm avoiding traffic. Okay. So tonight's session will be about internet and market research, which will be with Ivy. So a little bit about Ivy. She's a top-rated virtual assistant at Upwork, and then sales and marketing manager at Cyber Rescue Alliance, and then social media manager and content creator, and experience in the virtual assistance industry for over 3 years, specializing in internet and market research tasks. So for tonight, a little bit of there will be like a recap of the materials first, and then we're going into, we already picked some of the students' work that will be reviewed by Ivy, and then we will go straight to Q&A session. Tonight we have from the student advisors, we have me, Fanny, Sonia, and Mita, and also Tutu, which will help you assisting you in the chat box and also the Q&A box. So maybe we can get started. Yeah, Ivy. Are you ready, Ivy?
Yes, I'm very excited. Thank you so much, Bella. Yeah.
All right. The floor is yours now, Ivy.
All right. Well, before we proceed, can everybody respond if you can see my screen? Just want to make sure everything is all good. Perfect. Okay, great. Once again, thank you so much for having me, and of course, happy Lunar New Year to everyone who's celebrating it. And thank you so much, guys, for joining, even though it's holiday. Yeah. So, yeah, let's go through very quickly with. I know you guys have watched it, but just in case you haven't, you can always look back on the session. But we're just gonna run through very quickly the things and things I can share with you live and also answer questions later on. So, tonight's topic is basically about internet and market research for virtual assistants. So, this is very important because 90% of our job would be revolving into internet and market research, and it's very important for us to really able to navigate the internet and really be able to list down the places and things where we can search things that we have to research on or whatever the client wants us to research on. So, what is internet research? So, basically, these are some of the questions that you might have on your mind, and what are the expectations that our client expecting us to do? Also, what are the skills that you need to have, and reports that you may need to submit for the client. So that's a very important things to be asking whenever we talk about internet and market research. So for the topics, we're gonna be having some overview of internet research. What can us or a virtual research assistant do, and the types of research a virtual assistant can do. And I'm gonna share you tools and techniques that you can use. and how to properly cite sources. And of course, like I said, we're going to be heading to Q&A. So for the overview, so now what is internet research? So research is a very important task, and for any businesses, it's one of the key things to be successful in business. So any business that we have today, they all went through a thorough research, and it's very important for them to have it. So it also helps us in reducing guesswork and guides decisions based on reality instead of using unverified information. So we also wanted to highlight that research is a lifeblood of good decisions. Um, is the side moving or not? Is- Um, or just does it stay the same?
I already changed already now.
Can you confirm what do you see? Is it what is internet research?
Yes, that's yeah. That one is the side. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Not moving. Hold on. I think
There is a
it.
lag, but like it's already changed now to the what is
Okay,
internet
okay,
research. Yeah.
okay, cool. All right, just let me know, guys. All right, so what can a virtual research assistant do? So first we have products and research, services research. Next is travel and holiday planning for those clients who are into traveling or, and then some of which is a personal research, and some would be market research, competitor analysis, and for those who are working in the real estate industry, we have also real estate research. And actually, there's a lot of research all over the internet. And these are just some of the well known types of research that we have. And most of the clients would definitely ask you to do. Next is what is important to consider when conducting internet and market research. So we have this few things and major things actually that we wanted to highlight when it comes to the importance of considering that we need to consider when conducting internet and market research. So the first one is what's the purpose? So we need to understand what the client aims to achieve with our research. And the next is timing. So for timing, it determines the client's desired report delivery timeline. So basically, it's gonna be important for the client to have the timings or what is the estimated time of report that they can get the research from you, and also the reliability and relevance of information. So you need to utilize trustworthy sources and verify the relevance of the information that you have got. And of course, useful report. So you need to present research findings in a user-friendly format. So once your client have seen your research, will they be able to understand it? Or are there going to be more questions than usual? So we need to make sure that whatever types of research that we're going to submit to the client, they have all the information, like 99% of the information are all there. Their questions are answered through your research. And if there are something that it can't be answered through our research, we need to go through another batch of research. So this is very important, guys, and I want you to take note of this because again, 90% of your work would be revolving around internet and market research as a VA. So next one is types of research that virtual assistants can do. So the first one is data mining. It's basically creating and expanding a client's contact database. So we need to utilize people search tools that you can use to locate individuals on the internet with just their names and retrieve any missing information about the people already listed in the client's contact database. So along the run, if your client is onto like a research, um, basically you're gonna be having a lot of information, and you need to submit that to your clients. So one thing is like the LinkedIn. You can use LinkedIn for that. We can locate names. If you need to find a CEO of a particular company, then basically that's where you can find those information. And also we have some of the tools. Maybe later I can share that with you. But the next one is background information. So um, because your client wants to get network or connections, you're going to need to eventually find background information about a certain products, background information about a certain hotels or even an individual. So you need to be like an FBI something whenever you conduct a background information. So you need to know specific types of things or specific information that your client would want you to find out. So that's basically self-explanatory. So I'm not gonna dwell too much on that. Basically, just the background information about something or someone or some organization or places and market research. So this is very important, especially today, that gathering information about the market conditions, say for example, fashion industry, real estate industry, um, building or food industry, and whatnot. So this will allow you to have identify opportunities and risks within the sector that you're studying with, and provide you also with well-informed decisions based on the factual information that you have gathered on the internet. So that's for the market research. And also, I've listed here some of the examples. I'm probably sure that you've also read that you can find you can do market research through Facebook, through Instagram, Reddit if you're familiar with Reddit, or Threads or X, previously Twitter. So these are some of the examples, or even Google News. You can conduct a market research about a certain industry, certain um, consumers or something. So that's very important. It's very actually one of the top tasks that VA are expected to do to conduct a market research. Next is customer research. So basically, this one is quite the same with the market research because this one focuses with the individuals. So you're gonna conduct what's your target audience. If you're doing a Facebook ads, you know that. So you're gonna be doing a customer research. Who are your target audience? And then you will list down the information, their demographics, age bracket, what are the current locations you wanted to target or wanted to provide services with. I think especially with how we find clients online as a virtual assistant, we need to know what's our target customer. So that's where customer research will come in the scene. So we need to be able to identify the different types of customers that we will meet along the way, the people that we will be working with. So that's very crucial part of being able to do a good research. Because once you find the right customer, you can work with them, you can pitch your services, and that's it. So next one is content sourcing. And this basically is about conducting internet research on potential topics for the client to write about or identifying individuals or collaborators that the client can engage with through their blog or social media channels or business opportunities and assessing previous content on the client's social media platforms that can be repurposed. So if you're familiar with social media managers, I know you are. I know you are. Basically, what we do is, of course, it's really time consuming, mind consuming to create content on a monthly basis. So we're gonna need a lot of brain cells and ideas and creative juices to create a content, and we need to have a good content sourcing abilities to create another batch of content. So we cannot just post this and then expect to have engagement or impressions or reactions from your audience if we are not able to do a proper content sourcing. So that's basically one of the jobs that a social media manager would do, but also it goes the same way with virtual assistant. So we're going to be doing a lot of content sourcing as well along the process. So yeah, that's one thing. That's actually the last one for the task types of research that you can do. And now we proceed with research tools and techniques. So basically, just want to refresh you with the tools that you can use. Well, right now there's a lot of tools actually, and there's hundreds and thousands of tools that we can use for researching, especially now that we have AI. But definitely, our minds can really think more of the tools that can work for us. So not all the tools will work for each one of us. So we need to select what are the tools that will work for us and make it sustainable and make our jobs more easier and efficient. So I will highlight here the Google. Of course, Google is everything. We can just write anything, ask anything, and then we will have some answers for it. And then we have also ChatGPT, and then we also have specialized research tools such as for um, client sourcing or information sourcing about the client. We have Zoom Info, Owler for lead, and then for travel, I'm gonna also highlight some of those later. Now, let's highlight first the citing sources. So, I think we put this one here because it's very important for us to acknowledge the resources or sources that we got for the information that we gathered. So it's very important to avoid plagiarism, and plagiarism is a crime. So we need to be aware how to credit properly the sources that we have. So may it be from the internet, may it be from a book, may it be from a quotable quote, a person said this. So we need to address them properly. If we're writing a research plan, we need to have those data and citations properly. So I have here some format. It's called the American Psychological Association style. So we need to follow this kinds of format if it's like from a book. But if it's like an article, you need to attach the name of the article and the hyperlink. So it's just self-explanatory. But the main point of this is being able to address properly, acknowledge properly who are the sources from the research that you've done. Okay. All right. So going back to the tools, so we do have the Google Flights for travel. So along the way, you're going to meet people who are like going to ask you, or client would be asking you, hey, could you please book me a flight or find the cheapest flight for this place? My family and I will be going here, or the company are planning to have a seminar here, or conduct a meeting, a face-to-face meeting with our clients here. So you're going to be taking care of most of the itinerary or the schedules or the bookings, hotels of your clients. So you need to be able to know these tools, and there are many tools actually, but this one's the best of them. So first is like Google Flights. It's going to allow you to search for flights, compare prices, and same goes with Skyscanner, and also Kayak and Expedia. So these are the major tools that you can use for travel, finding flights for your client, and then you can get to compare the prices. So that's very important. You need to know actually at least one or two tools for travel, for lead generation, social media scheduling, or real estate or bookkeeping, how to create invoice, something like that, or create our market research plan or competitor analysis. So it's actually a wide and a lot of things. But what I always encourage VAs to do is to learn tools that you might need in the future. So I can go on and tell you, oh, you need these tools, you need to know these tools, but I hope that you just pick some of this and then learn the basic things on this tool, because you're gonna need it. I promise you're gonna need one of these tools along your journey. So yeah, enough of the travel tools. So we're gonna proceed with the competitors. So like I said, it's very important that we know one of these tools. So when you were asked by a client to search for a competitor of our organization, what do they do? I wanted to see how we can be like them, especially if they have a huge amount of following, a huge amount of clients or revenue, because we can see it on the internet how much this company have in revenue. So we need to have some tools that can allow us to pull up those information. And I have listed here Owler. It's a competitive intelligence platforms that will allow you to view the company profiles, news and data on competitors, such as the information about our team, revenue, and recent developments. So any moment that your client will ask, oh, what's the revenue of Google? Then you know where to find it. You can use Owler. We can also use LinkedIn, but not all the information can be found on LinkedIn or social media accounts. So that's why we need to use a tool like Owler. We also have Zoom Info, been using this for more than 3 years now. So it allows me to see what are the competitors of a certain organization and view who are the people working with them, what's the current reviews of this company, or whatever, like the CEO, what's the revenue of the CEO, something like that. So yeah, that's the for the competitor analysis. You can use these tools, and also we have real estate. Yeah, I hope the screen moved already. So for real estate, some of the clients will ask you how much is the price for this property? Is this property posted on this tool? Because if you're gonna be working with real estate, they have a particular tool that they use. So for example, right now you are targeting to work with real estate clients or CEOs or entrepreneurs or real estate brokers or agent that are working. So you need to know at least one of these tools like Zillow, Realtor.com. They all works the same thing, such as Redfin. So you need to know these tools and navigate. It's a very user friendly tool. So one of these days you can apply the lessons that or the tools that you have learned today, and then see for yourself what is the best tool, what is more efficient, what is more reliable when it comes to this task to get to know more of them. And yeah, the more you navigate the tools, the more you learn from it, the more you get experience, right? So you can definitely practice your skills through these tools. And then after you practice these tools, you can add this on your portfolio that you are familiar with this tool. And then once you have your target client, they will be impressed that, oh, you know these tools, how about this? Do you know this as well? So you have an answer for that. Or even if you don't know the tool that your client wants you to use, at least you have an idea that, oh, I know this kind of tool, which works the same with the tool that you've mentioned. So that's basically the importance of knowing these tools. All right, so I hope that that's clear on your end. So we now move on to some samples. All right, so this is just like a sample for the client I've worked with. So they've asked me to create a competitor analysis. So I basically do this method. I created a competitor analysis spreadsheet, and then I investigated the followers, the likes, and the things that I do online. So I submit it to the client. So along the way, you're gonna be asked to do the same thing. Also, we have like keyword research. You're gonna be using keywords in the future that would make your life more easier, your jobs easier. So you need to be friend with these tools like WordStream to be able to conduct some research on that one. And to be stay updated on news and industry updates, you need to subscribe with Google News. So if you want to know what's happening in the fashion industry, what's happening with the inflation of this particular country, or what is happening in social media in general, you need to get some updates with Google News. So you can just subscribe that and curate your news feed. Um, yeah, for the local market research, you just need to search the local industry that you have. Like, for example, you're working with a cafe. You want to know this cafe if it's going to thrive in the current location or the surroundings and environment that they have. So, what are the target customer for this client or this cafe? You need to do a market research for that one. And then we have Okay, market influencers and thought leaders. This is more on the business side aspect. So if your client is looking for collaborations and all that, you can conduct a market research and thought leaders. So you're sometimes like podcasting, if you're familiar with podcasting. So they wanted to reach out to CEOs or whatever people that they wanted to have them on the podcast. So you're gonna do a research for that one. So that's just one of the many samples that I can provide. But it's the main goal of this is to know the influencers within the market, and then thought leaders that your client wanted to collaborate with and their business.
Sorry, Ivy. The screen is not moving. The screen share, your slide. Is it still in the real estate? Okay, now it's changing now.
Okay, I'm sorry
It's on
guys if it's
the thought leaders, right?
yes.
Okay.
Can I like turn off my video to save bandwidth?
Yeah, sure. If that's
Maybe
better,
that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Okay. So moving on, we have um the common mistakes of that we need to avoid as a researcher. So first is when it comes to research and bookings for travel information, we need to be able to really filter out the things that we put in. We need to identify the things that can hinder us doing an effective research. Okay, so the first is lack of clear objectives. So the mistake is starting research without clear objectives or a well-defined scope. So research can be truly hard if you don't have the objectives, if you don't know what is like the objective of this research. So the solution for that I come up with is to always have a clear understanding of what you're researching and why. What is the why? And you need to establish a specific goals and questions to answer. All right. So you
Hi,
can like,
Ivy. Sorry, it's still not moving again. The slide.
what about now?
Okay, now it's good.
Okay. Let
Sorry,
me just,
people were like
no.
in the chat. Yeah.
No worries. Maybe it's my internet. I'm sorry, guys. But do you share this with them? Yeah, I hope it's moving now.
Yeah, it's good now.
Okay, sure. So the solution again is to always have a clear understanding of what you're researching and why, and establish a specific goals and questions to answer. So that's very important. And you need to create a document with a list of things you need to achieve for the research task. So list the specific key points that you need to research. Like for example, target audience, types of content that a competitor usually posts, how frequently they post if you're doing a competitor analysis. So that's one thing. Next is not using a variety of sources. So one thing that you need to avoid when doing research is just relying too heavily on a single source or search engine. Say, for example, you've been using this particular author all throughout, or this vlogger or this blogger. You need to, it's like the same with consulting a doctor, right? Whenever you feel sick, you need to have, or if you don't trust the opinion of the doctor, you need to have a second opinion with another doctor, right? So it's the same thing with using a variety of sources. So you need to make sure that it's not just one-sided, because anything on the internet can be fake. Anything can be like, not true. So you need to be able to use a variety of sources and search engine to verify your information. So instead of you using one article from Google, try using a blog site, try using a different resources on the internet. Okay. All right. So I've moved to another slide. Can you see it? Overlooking credibility.
All good, Ivy.
Okay. So overlooking credibility, it's basically not verifying the credibility of sources, leading to the inclusion of inaccurate or biased information. So that's one thing. Now, we need to always assess the reliability and authority of sources and cross-reference information. So, if you know this person, of course, you're gonna head on to their opinion. But also, I think it's very important as well to. It's the same with not too heavily relying with one source or one search engine. So the same with the person. So you need to consult and see how reliable is this person? What are the reviews with their opinion, right? So that's one thing that you can take note. And also not keeping up with the updates. So that's why I told you earlier that we need to sign up with Google News to see what are the updates, current trends in the social media, current trends in the virtual assistant industry. So we need to filter out this information and continue to monitor and update your research to ensure it remains relevant. So if you did a research today and then you submit it next year, do you think that it's still relevant? Maybe, right? But maybe not as well. So you need to verify and keep those things updated, right? So there you go. And we have sample reports for competitor analysis. This is how it looks like. And actually, there's a sample of this on the internet. Just search competitor analysis template, and then you can get this, and then you can recreate this. So it just looks like this one. So obviously, Twitter is now like X, and then yeah, this is a sample for market research. Market research is basically like graphical representation of something. All right. So next one is your task. So basically, we go now to your task, and then I'm gonna share some inputs on that one. Let me just pull it up. If you have any questions, you can always like drop into the question and answer chat.
Hi, Ivy. Are you moving to the reviewing students' work?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we move? Yeah. Let me just share. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it clearly now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is from Adini. All right. Well, thank you, Adini, again for this work. So we have here an itinerary details. So we talked about earlier the importance of being able to create an itinerary for your client. Actually, you can submit this. You can hyperlink this when you create your portfolio, like the samples of your work, so they know that you're able to do it. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay. Fastest, cheapest, best. And she also added the pros and cons for each of this flight, which is very important. The sample hotels, meal options. Are, I think overall this is good because it has the choices. Yeah, like the providing the best convenience, providing effectivity and efficiency. So I guess what I wanted to comment on this is just your personal opinion. Which if you were to, we always need to make sure that we put ourselves into the shoes of the client. So if you were like the client, what would you pick best if you have the factors of the financial capability, time efficiency, convenience? you need to highlight here, maybe just add a star or a heart or like a note. I prefer you take this flight. I prefer you grab this hotel because this one suits your budget. This one suits your diet or something like that. So, but this one is really good. I mean, I don't have to go through the internet and do this on my own. Um, Also, how can we here? Okay, maybe add the logo of booking.com in the future so that your client would see, oh, this is from booking.com. Okay, I got it. I know how to take it from here so they know because I had to like read where is booking.com, where can I book this? So maybe just adding that one and yeah, I think you can see the airlines here. So yeah. Um, all right. Just add some um logos that you think would make your clients spot it easier. But overall, this is a good itinerary. And thank you for doing this, Adini. Okay, next we proceed with this Aline. All right.
Ivy, can you like zoom in a little bit? Okay.
Yep. Okay. Okay, I think this one is also nice. Did she mention the word team? Okay. Yeah, I think in general, what needs to be added in the future is really add the CTA call to action. How would the client would do this? Because I think the next step is okay, what do we do now? Or like where can I book this? How should I proceed after this itinerary? But if the task only from the client is just, okay, just provide me an itinerary and then I'll take it from there. This is totally fine. This is such a good help on their end. But if I think you will be asked after this to book something for them or to take care of their itinerary or the booking hotel, so they all they have to do is to okay fly there and then visit the hotel once they got there. So just being able to highlight, okay, to book this you need to go to booking.com, or you can also provide them an option that if you want me to take care of this I can also do it, something like that. So just the final next steps, like what's the next step after this itinerary. But overall, yeah, this is really another way we can do the itinerary because it provides you the all the details that you need for the um event. Okay, thank you so much, Ollie, for this one. And we have Beta Risa. Okay, this is good because I can see right away which is highest, which is the lowest, and the recommended. I think this one would be really appealing to the client because they got to see, okay, it's better to fly with um, United Airlines with this one, airport transfer. Okay. All right. I think one thing to highlight here, the reviews. There's a star, 5 star. Um, um, okay. I was just wondering, where did you got this review? Is it like online or directly from their website or from booking.com or in general? Maybe in general. So we need to highlight that one here. But if I were the client, I wanted to see, okay, I think I'm safe with this hotel because they have a 5 star review, and then you have all these details here, which is very time consuming to do, but you've taken the time to really highlight that one here because, for example, the client has some pets. So they wanted to bring in them pets. So in the conference, so we'll never know what they wanted to bring with them. So at least they know that they have 24-hour front desk. They know that they have a garden, a city view, a pool, a bar. So that's really important to highlight.
Sorry, Ivy, can
Restaurant.
you zoom in a little?
Sure, sure, yeah.
Some students cannot see it. Okay,
Okay.
all good.
All right. And we also have the restaurants here. These are different restaurants within the place that they should check in if they want to. Are these hyperlinked? Oh, okay. These are all hyperlinked too. So that saves so much time actually. So if you see, if you click this, it will take you to the next tab. So this is their menu. All right. So I think that's one way to remove tasks from your client to hyperlink everything. I was just wondering if uh okay, maybe also because of the hyperlink, I wanted to see if like for Delta, if I click somewhere here, can I book it there? It will lead me to the website of Delta or whatever platform we can book the ticket. Also this one. I think this one is hyperlink. Is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, that's a very cool feature. That's one way you can do it, guys. To save much time, you can hyperlink things. Let's see, restaurants. I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit. Okay, we also have here attractions. Just in case your client wanted to check out these places. All right. And of course, the budget summary, which is which highest budget. Okay, so I think Betterisa highlighted her best option here. So of course, lowest budget if your client is after with a budget, and then of course this one is the best. Okay, recommended. Okay. All right. Well, if I were the client, I think I'm gonna pick the recommended one because yeah, it does provide me all the, you know, recommended airlines, hotels, airport transfer, and all that. So yeah, this is great. Thank you so much, Teresa. So just make sure, um, then maybe, okay, just putting some notes as well here is also important. So yeah. This is what you call CTA, call to action. If you have any questions, contact me. So that's very important for the client. Thank you so much for that one. Then the second to the last. All right, we do have from Angar. Okay, these are the daily schedule for the event. Because sometimes clients don't know oh, what's gonna happen today? What are we gonna be doing tomorrow? So at least right in front of their faces, they see okay, this is what we're gonna happen. Conference ticket. So, all right. We also have the flights, upper fare, or yeah, maybe we can change this into um higher fare. Okay, adding ribbon is like telling that this is the cheapest, this is the best. Okay. There's also some notes that I think would be valuable for the clients to see and check. And the restaurant and the budget summary for 2 people here. Are this like a, oh, okay. All right. Maybe just highlighting once again, what's your recommendations? Because I think we as a virtual assistant we are expected, and actually, it's very important for us to relay our opinions to the client. Like if you were to pick up a flight for your client, what's your best option? So they actually like it when we as a virtual assistant provide them advices, because honestly, they have so much things going on their end, and it's the best that we can do when we tell like exactly how are we going to be picking up for them. Of course, we're going to pick the best for them based from the questions and details that they provide for us, or to us. So you just need to have, okay, in my opinion, this is the best for you because of the following reasons. All right. So just something like that. But this one is really a good one. And also maybe in the future, just like what we have seen earlier, add some hyperlinks. How can we book this? How do we get here? Yeah, something like that. All right. So the last but not least, Ratna. Okay, for Ratna, the best, cheapest, and quickest. That's nice. Quickest. Okay, best direct. Maybe highlight this in the future that we're discounted. You have access to discounted room, because that's gonna be like enticing to the customer. Okay, we have a discount here, so um yeah, and how do we book? Like, um, how can we book this? If you wanted to book, like, maybe create like a short summary how they can book it for them, or do they need to pay someone or ask someone to do it? All right. So I think that's one thing that in general is missing for the itinerary that we have tracked. The food is actually totally fine, or maybe in the future, like make this one bigger, because I think if they are gonna be printing, mostly of some of them like to print things, so they wanted to read it within their offices or maybe on their computer. So maybe just make it a little bit more bigger. Entertainment, yeah, yeah. So for the entertainment part, I think you can put hyperlink for this one. Maybe they have spare time. They wanted to review it. Um, maybe on this part. Oh, there is. Oh, there is. I was kidding. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, very good. Yeah, you can put it on the picture or here. So, but if they're gonna print this, of course, they cannot view that. But on your computer, they can see it. So yeah, very good on this one. Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Okay, it was highlighted here. Lower budget, use code. Oh, okay. At least this is noted here. If you wanted to get the discount, you need to get use the code. And okay, that's where it ends. So yeah, hyperlinks were added. I think the one thing I would suggest on this one overall is to just add the hyperlink how to book the hotel, how to book the um, airline flight or the airport transfer. How do we all sort those things out? Because that's the only thing that's missing in general for this items. But thank you so much, guys, for doing all the hard work on this. I know it's not easy. It never gets easier to to create a plan like that, and it really requires a lot of effort to do that. And yeah, hats off and congratulations for being able to do that. Yeah,
All
I think
right.
that's it where it ends.
All right. Thank you so much, Ivy, for recapping the materials in case, some students haven't watched the materials as well. And then recapping some of the students' work. Yeah. So maybe you want to take a sip of water first, Ivy, before we move on to
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Q&A session because we have quite a few questions here. Okay. Are you ready, Ivy, for the questions?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the first question. Okay, so the first question would be from Umu. So, hello, Ivy. I have three questions for you. Sorry if that's a lot. So the first one is maybe we'll start with the first one, yeah. So about tools, like for real estate, you mentioned previously like Zillow, Realtor, Redfin. Is the website trusted? Because in real estate, I'm a bit afraid if I give wrong information to my client.
Yeah, actually, those tools are a good place to start, and I assure you that those are legitimate tools that you can use. You don't necessarily have to have a pro account or something unless your client pays for it, or unless you really wanted to have a pro account. But those tools are, as far as I explored it, those are a good place to research about real estate properties or information. So you don't really, unless I don't know, I can't really like tell you which is which, but mostly you'll know the link, the domain on your screen. So that's where you know if it's safe or not. In general, that's where you know if it's safe or not. If the domain is a little suspicious, then you have to think properly or think more about if you want to click that link. But as far as I know, if you're on the right website of these tools, they're all good.
Yeah, I mean, you can also look at, Google whether like it's trustworthy or not. Some websites probably already covered it,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
Okay. The second question is when I see your demo when using Owler, you can't see even just overview about Microsoft competitor. But after that, you can access that information even if you don't sign in. Tell me that trick, please.
The trick is you use incognito.
Ah, oh, so
Uh,
you use VPN or?
now, just, when you go to Google, the
Mm-hmm.
three dots,
Mm-hmm.
there's like new tab, new incognito. So
Ah,
just use new
oh, the incognito mode.
incognito.
Yeah. Okay, 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 okay.
Actually, some of the sites you need to play a trick because they wanted you to sign up, like sign up your
Mm,
Google for whatever reason.
mm.
Because I think they it has reviews on Google, how much user they have. They have all those data. But you can, and they also leverage the user to, okay, sign up for this if you want to see this. But yeah, just use incognito tab to use Owler. Even Zoom Info, I use just incognito tab to have more capabilities.
All right, that's that's a trick there. I thought there is no special tricks, but turns out there is.
There's always tricks.
Okay, okay, Umu's last question. Could you please provide an example of how to identify untrustworthy data and suggest methods for verifying its accuracy?
um Untrustworthy, well, first is we have our personal opinions and beliefs. That's one thing. Second is what I've mentioned earlier is that you need to know different types of sources, just like how we ask our friends for advice for some personal matters, right? We consult each one of them, and then at the end of the day, we listen to none of them. So, just kidding. So, just the same with that. I mean, you need to first list down all the people. Usually I actually write coach one, coach two, or sources one, source one, source two, and then what's their thought about this particular topic, and then second source, what do they tell about this particular topic, and then third, and then I cross out those opinions or ideas that I don't think are resonating between the others. So by that, you were able to verify the accuracy of the information. Say for example, nowadays there's a lot of social media content creator, influencer, people like that, and telling all their opinions out there, and we are all entitled for our own opinions and beliefs. And perspective. So by just identifying the right sources, there's also a lot of reviews that we can find online for this particular ideas or answers. Then by that we can identify if it's up to us actually at the end of the day who we wanted to believe in, right? So we just need to validate it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I personally, when I do research, right, I always try to make sure that the sources are reliable. Like, for example, if I try to find like statistics, I would look at Statista or like Euromonitor, something like that, that is like, trustworthy. And maybe like if you look at like news article, I would probably trusting more than to like what Wall Street Journal compared to like some
Yeah.
xyz.com news
Yeah.
sites, right? So maybe like start from the source as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Umu, for the question. Okay, so next one is from Wahid. So, hi, Ivy. I have a question. How accurate the tools you recommend in market research to small businesses? Is there any way to double check the accuracy of the tools or sources that we use? This is the same question, but maybe he's specifically asking for like small businesses because it's kind of hard to
Mhm.
find, reliable sources. Like there is no annual report, right, for
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
businesses publicly available.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually agree with that, especially if you're working with a startup organization or business in the industry. It's quite challenging to really get to know the data between or the in between information of that. Um, but we can actually double check those accuracy by doing manual research. So if you really wanted to dig in, because sometimes percentage actually are totally different, and sometimes percentage are basing it in the general sector or the industry or whatever it is. But I would suggest do a manual one. So say for example, you're looking after you're doing a social media audit for the local uh, business that you're working with versus the local business that you know within your area. So and for sure they do have like a Facebook account or Instagram. Those are mainly the top social media accounts that businesses nowadays have for credibility. So just do a manual research for accuracy. And I think that would provide you more information. You can literally just see it on the internet. Just visit their social media accounts, you get the answers. You don't need to check everything like from the very start. Just check maybe their post, their engagement for the past 30 days, and that's gonna give you information. So that's where we can start with local and small businesses for now.
All right, so it's more on like checking their social media and websites.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
okay, I also saw this one question, like if they couldn't find the sources, should we inform the, should we inform the client like, hey, I cannot find this specific information. Should you tell the client or we can make an assumption?
Well, the best thing is to be honest that they're not visible on the social media platforms because some businesses works backward. I have worked with someone who doesn't like social media presence and want to do it the old fashioned way. So that's totally fine. You do you, right? You do your business, whatever you think works for you. So just be honest that, oh, we cannot compare ourselves to them. We cannot catch, any data from this organization, even though they're very successful because they don't really have a presence online. Maybe they're very good at internal marketing, like the old-fashioned way of marketing. So it still works, but nowadays we really have to adapt and thrive with the current trends of marketing, which is digital. So just be honest. That's first and foremost, because you don't need to fake data. You cannot fake data. Yeah. So yeah, that's you can definitely tell it to your clients.
Okay, so maybe just put a note on the slides or something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe search another business that you
Mm,
can. Yeah,
like
it's
reference.
like a little bit challenging, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That's pretty clear. Thank you so much, Wahid, for the question. So we move to Trisnia. So she has like 3 questions here. Hi Ivy, I've listed down my questions when I listen to the recording. So the first one is that if we say we can do internet research, does that include market research as well, or can it be only a part of it?
It can be the first one, it can be the second one, it can be both. Again, 90% of our job, even if we're not pursuing VA in this industry, we always do research, right? Even like
True.
cooking, we still search the internet, right?
For
How to cook
recipes.
this, yeah, recipe. So it's like daily habit of an individual to do research. So you can be both, you can be one, you can specify yourself. Like eventually, all of us, VA will find our passion towards maybe market research, a social media manager. Will eventually have ways to take on. We're not just gonna be like all around person. I'm gonna do everything you ask for. Like, yeah, that's a real thing. Eventually, you need to niche down. So you can say to your client that for now, I'm exploring every areas within market research. So yeah, I'm very open to do this. I'm very open to do that. So yeah.
Okay. All right. We move on to the second question from Trishnia. How do we know if our research source is reliable or not? I feel like we already answered that question basically on the sources and
Mhm.
then double checking
Yeah.
everything,
Always
finding any
double check.
source. Yeah, always double check, because there are a lot of, as you said, influencers. They have their own opinions. Sometimes they give like wrong answers,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
so we have to double check it.
Sometimes it's just one-sided, right?
Yeah,
So
sometimes it's just one-sided. Yeah. That's true. Okay, so the third one is when do plan booking? Will the customer provide us with credit card details for payment, or will they simply be given a link to make the payment themselves?
it can be like any of those. I've basically advised that for integrity, for or maybe to just avoid if they really like trust you, I think at some point of your life working, you will meet some people who like really trust you, like they really give everything that personal or whatever. They even give you the PayPal account, something like that, because they really trust you. So that's a good one. But just in case you meet someone just wanted to take care of this for you. Sometimes they will just send a link. Okay, here's the payment, and then or you send them the payment link that the customer, the agent that you're talking to, or the hotels or the airlines, and then they will process the payment. So anything from those will just work just fine.
Okay, so yeah, any mode is fine, Trusnia. Thank you for the question. So next question is from Teresia. So hi Ivy, I have a question. How do you prioritize the information you get when you do your research? Do you have any tips so that we can make a presentable report that is comprehensive for our client?
Um, there's so many ways how we present our research to clients. Just like what you have done when you did the itinerary, we can do it backwards. We can do it like we can, provide all the informations, right? And then, yeah, it depends on you. To me personally, I start off with background information first, because I wanted to refresh the client. Okay, this is your task. This is what you asked me to do, not just me providing, okay, and then at the end of the report, they will ask me, what's this for again? I want them to be refreshed. Okay, here's what you asked me to do, and when did you ask me to do this research, and what's the goal of this research? So I think those are a good refresher when you work with your client about something research, because honestly they forget everything most of the time. So uh just save their time by triggering their brains as, okay, I asked this and then this is the answer. So and then you proceed now with the information that they need, and at the end of the report you ask for CTAs, like what should we do after this, how can I further help you, or do you have any questions? Or you can just do it during your conversation, may it be on email or WhatsApp or um, other communications tools that you're using. So that's how I make it presentable. And we all have ways how we make things. And like I've always said, you do you. You add a resemblance of you when you do the report, so they will know that, oh, okay, Ivy did this, or Bella did this one. I know how she does things. So
Okay. I think you haven't really answered like how do you prioritize the information you get when you do research?
um like I said, I prioritize the um questions first, and
Mm.
then I put the goal of the research, which I've mentioned earlier as well, that we need to um put the objective or the goal of the research. So if they ask a certain questions for us to find out, and then I put it there, I highlight the importance of the research, why we conduct this kind of research.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty clear. All right. Thank you so much, Teresia, for the question. Okay, next one would be from Vidya Fimala. So how can we ensure that our research is 99% accurate and can be effectively utilized to achieve client business goals? Additionally, is there any AI technology available to verify the accuracy of our research, particularly considering the potential for exaggerated or similar news within the network? Are we able to or allow to ask the company by calls or something else to verify it?
Okay.
Pretty long question.
Yeah, but basically, I think it solely revolves with the accuracy. How do we get accurate information at the end of the day? So, um, well, we can rely on the internet. But again, you said that, yeah, I totally agree. Anything on the internet can be true, can be not, right? But if there's one thing is to directly communicate with, say, for example, the itinerary. How do we know that this is really the price? There's no additional charges for this hotel. There's no additional charges for the services of this attractions, right? So, if you've done everything on the internet, like research everything, I think we now have to call or email or message them on social media platforms to confirm things. I think it's our job. Even as a consumer, myself, whenever I have questions about certain hotels or places I wanted to visit or flights I wanted to catch, I ask questions directly on their platforms where like the customer service, because that's basically their job to answer our questions, our confusions towards things, or just basically verifying information. So I think that's where it goes. There is no AA like tell me the truth AI, something like that. I don't think
I
so.
don't think so, because like ChatGPT information is only until 2021, 2022. It's not a
Yeah.
live information anyway from
And I
ChatGPT.
and it's gonna be so creepy to have an
Yeah,
AI tool
exactly.
that tells you that this is true or not. Like, the lie detectors nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be
that's
pretty scary.
it's scary. Maybe, how can you predict if my feelings if it's true or
Yeah,
not?
true.
Yeah, but let's hope there's not. Because that's gonna be ridiculous to have those kinds of tools. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. Just call them. That's human. At the end of the day, the most trustworthy tools that we can use is our brain cells and the human beings.
Yeah. And also, in my opinion, like a lot of the, research, like market research or competitor research is pretty subjective as well. It's like,
Yeah, it's generalized.
it's generalized and like it's pretty subjective in a way that like companies have different goals, and then like sometimes you need the human brain to actually make
Yeah.
recommendations and conclusions, right? So I don't think there is like a way of saying this is 99% accurate. So yeah, I hope that answers it, Vidya, for your question. Okay, maybe for the next question, I'll move it to Funny. Okay, here she is.
Yeah. Thank you,
Hi,
Bella.
Fanny.
Hi, Ivy. Okay, let's continue to the next questions. I think the next one is coming from Kurniawan. Kurniawan is asking, I would like to ask if breakfast, afternoon, and oh, sorry, it's already gone. I think it's already answered. Maybe let's move to Tari's question. Customer research seems like lead generation. What's the difference?
It
Um,
is actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
customer
is.
research is just like lead generation. You basically, well, there's a little bit of difference. Sometimes it could be a buyer's persona, so you need to, there's like a template, the age, because for lead generation, actually, it's like name, link, current position, contact number, or email. So that's the contents within lead generation. And then you list them out down on a spreadsheet. You list them all on a spreadsheet. But for customer research, it's basically the same information, but in generalized terms. So for example, male, you add the age. What's the age bracket of your target audience? Like say for example, 18 to 27 years old. Location or geographic location, where are they currently located, for your target audience? Is it like locally, USA, Indonesia, Malaysia, or whatever country? So customer research basically it's the same with lead generation. It's just that lead generation is more specific to the person, and customer research is like in general.
Yeah, and maybe if I add to your opinion, to your answer, lead generation is also has a specific purpose, right?
Yeah.
Because in lead generation, we give the client data as for the customer or potential customer for the client. So it's
Yes.
different with the customer research. Okay, thank you, Tari. The next one is Rosa, but actually Rosa is asking about your IG and LinkedIn account.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna
maybe
type it to the group
yes,
chat.
Ivy and Bella can type your LinkedIn IG in
Oh, also
chat
mine. Yeah,
box.
okay. Wait.
Yeah, it's Ivy and Bella. Okay. Okay, the
Yeah.
next one is coming from Pauline. Mm, Hi, Ivy. How do you usually charge clients for researches like this, hourly or monthly? What if you need longer time?
So for virtual assistant, for researchers like this, well, researchers, I feel like I've been using the virtual assistant um skill in general. I don't have like um a package like I'm just gonna be researching for you today. So normally I would include it with my hourly rate for virtual assistant. So um right now I could, because of the years of experience that I had and also how fast I can deliver. So guys, with the pricing, it really differs. So I couldn't like tell you that, oh, you charge this for this one, and also it's also location dependent as well. So where is your client? How much do they usually charge in the US? So I think you need to jot down those data because it's gonna be a different pricing if you are finding a client in UAE. It's gonna be a different amount in the UK. So you need to consider all sorts of things. But normally, you can start from $5 and hourly rate, and then you can increase that eventually, depending on your capabilities, how fast you deliver. If it's urgent, you charge more because urgent, like in a few hours, I need this. You need to charge more for that. So it depends. It's a personal preference and look skill dependent as well.
Okay. Thank you, Ivy. I think there's no more question left.
Okay,
Uh,
that's the last one.
oh no. Um, there are two more questions, but only asking about again IG. Only you can check Ivy and Bella IG in
Mm-hmm.
chat box. And Heavy, um, Heavy is asking, do you have any list of average rate for every countries you have been dealing with?
Um, so I just base everything on Upwork. If you have an Upwork account, if you search for a particular question, skill like research, you will see the pricing, what's their current pricing for this. But you also have to check if are they beginner or are they professional already, like really working for a long time. So again, it's based on how long have you been doing this job because I think eventually when you have been working in the industry, you can no longer charge your client the minimum, but it depends again on you. Like I charge my client now around $15 up up because I delivered fast and I've been working in the industry for a while now for more than 3 years. So but when I was starting out, I tell you what, I even pitched myself to the $3, $4 hourly rate. So I started from very little before I was able to charge my client $15, so or $20 or more. So again, it's very important for us to hone our skills. If you wanted to charge more, I'm sure you cannot charge a client right now $15 up because you still need to build your portfolio and your
Yes.
skills, your communication skills and your pitching skills, how well you talk with clients and ask them, okay, here's my deal, here's my rate, you know. So yeah, you can start from that $5 and on up, depending on several factors I've mentioned.
You'll be increasing, right? Through the
Yeah,
experience
and
given.
also with how much you spend with your electricity,
Yes.
Wi-Fi, your investment, any tools. There's so many factors actually. Maybe in the future we can curate a spreadsheet where we can track how much would can we charge our clients in the future because I think it's very important. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Heavy. Next question is coming from Rosa again. Another questions. Usually,
Sure.
how big the corporate that asking for market research on what their most objectives? And the second question is, and what industries that most likely need research and in which stage of business?
Yeah. For the market research, basically every businesses today, whatever sector it is, would be doing a market research. Like when you work with a corporate industry, they do have the marketing team. Before they run a plan, they always have a market research. Before they execute a new product, they need to have a market research, because without it, they don't know what they're targeting. What are their expectation at the end of the campaign? So usually it's in every sector. So I'm not gonna like highlight just one sector. It's every sector.
Yes.
Um, in what industries, in which stage of business, it could be starting, especially starting when you start a business, before you build a buildings, before you build a cafe or whatever it is, you need to have a market research, right? um in the middle of the month, you have a different a plan or direction of the business, you do another market research. So actually, there it's always like every time you do a market research, it's not like seasonal, it's always market research every time.
Yeah. The next one is coming from Safira. Safira is asking for lead generation services, if the clients only pay the data they think it's valid. For example, list of CEO, some companies complete with phone number and email. For one complete data, the client pay $1. How we know that the clients are honest with the data they think are valid? Because it could be we collect same data and clients only pay 6 data because they think that the other 4 data are invalid. What should we do to convince the client that the data are valid so we can get full payment? Actually, Safira, I think this question should be addressed in lead generation lesson. But maybe, I don't know, maybe Ivy has another perspective about this.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of this on Upwork, like clients or maybe potential clients that are just buying leads, you know. So I think that's like really not a good way of valuing the work of the researcher, because you're just buying one, two, three, and then what after, right? So I think the best way to do this without you affecting your services and rate is by um doing it hourly. So you can do a trial in an hour. How many leads can you give them, or how many leads can you provide them that they will be satisfied? And then if it doesn't work, then okay, maybe we're not fit. So we move on. So I think that's how I did. I did some several lead generation work, and usually we just have like a trial period. So I will work for an hour and then I will send it to them. If they're satisfied, okay, we proceed with the next stage and the rest of the lead information that I will find. And then if they're not satisfied, okay, I'm sure I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time too doing things that you cannot benefit with. So okay, let's end this contract. So as simple as that. That's what I do, and to save my time and their time and their money too.
And adding to your opinion, I think, in my opinion, I don't think I would take that kind of opportunity because yeah, there are energy and time that you already spent right
Yeah,
for
yeah.
filing the data. So
It takes a lot of time actually. Sometimes I
yes,
don't charge them um how long I work. I just charge them how fast it is, like how many, especially how many, like if it's just 10, maybe just 30 minutes. I try to think that maybe they would assume that I'm after their money, so it's not for everybody. I mean, I'm not encouraging everyone to do it, but if you're open for experience and trial, you can do it, but don't do it in the long term.
yes, that's short period. Okay. I think the last one is coming from Kylie. Is there any good sample of market research we can learn from? Any good recommended platform?
Well, I actually base everything on the resources that I have for the internet. It basically um varies with kind of topic that you have. So I suggest just basically finding the top, the SEO. So when you search something, you will see the top ones on the list, and then most probably that's the most visited sites for that particular question that you have. So, and then you can use the top three of those, and then you verify the information. So you summarize, you internalize what are those. So that's where I basically I don't have like people that, because if I do, I will always run to them and always base everything to them. And if it doesn't resonate with this, I would be like biased. So I don't want to be biased with anything that I do. I want it to be information based with the truth, with the uh industry that I wanted to research on. So yeah, that's how I do it.
Okay. So Harry is asking again about Quora. Do you use also use
Quora.
yeah? Do you
Yeah, I
use
actually
Quora to
use
check?
Quora and Reddit.
Okay.
So yeah, Quora is also one way to check information. Reddit, sometimes there are, but you don't take everything like anything that you found them. You still need your personal preferences, if you wanted to believe it, because anyone can be true. Anything can be true or false. So yeah,
Yeah. But so Quora is another option for tools that you
yes.
use, right?
I was surprised that someone would ask for Quora. I don't really get that question most often. But yeah, you can anything, you can actually use anything.
Yeah, wow. Okay, I think there's no more question left, and I found that our students' enthusiasm for a couple of topics, so many questions about tools, like real estate tools that Ivy have mentioned, about Aula, about specific tools to find price and menu, and the other question that most asked is about the implementation about internet and market research as a VA, and also your experience as a VA specializing in internet and market research. So yeah, I think that's all, everyone. Thank you so much for attending our live Q&A lesson on internet and market research. I hope that Ivy and all of us moderators effectively address your questions and providing you with a clear understanding of the internet and market research. So thank you again, everyone, for attending. Thank you, Ivy, Bella,
Yeah,
Mita, Sonia, and Tutu for moderating today. And see you again, everyone.
thank you everyone.
Thank you, Ivy.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you, Henry.
weekend.
Happy holiday, guys.
Happy
Happy holiday.
holiday.
Happy long weekend.
Bye bye.
Thank you. See you
Thank
soon in
you, everyone. Thank
Telegram.
you, Bella.
Bye bye.
Bye.